After much reflection, thinking about what the world needs, I realized that we need one comprehensive, universal cleanse that works for everybody. All age groups, all ailments, all life situations. And I came up, after much thought and careful consideration, I came up with a concept that works for everybody and fills this very need. It's called the Greatest Cleanse, and it's going to be launching very soon. With the world as precarious as it is now, people are panicking. They are variously stressed and falling into the whirlpool of the mayhem and losing themselves and losing their power. They're panicking over their fear of illness. They're panicking over what's happening to the world. They're panicking over what's happening to their daily lives, their finances, their lifestyle, their ability to move freely around the world, around their neighborhoods, even in their grocery stores. So with all of this causing distress, what I want to do is I want to empower people in this moment to rise to their highest self, to release the sandbags, to move out of that stayed, stuck, fearful place in which they may find themselves, and use this pivotal time to actually become their most glorious self by comparison. And it's moments like these that invite our soul to reach for our truth, reach for something better. So instead of getting caught up in the negativity and in the fear, take this moment now. Let me show you how to actually bring your most glorious self to be, to have a complete reset, to reset your digestive system, to reset your palate, to reset your habits, to get over your addictions once and for all to sugar and starch. This the plan I've put together, which, as I mentioned, is universal. It's for everyone. It's extremely low in sugar. It's absent and devoid of animal fleshes, oils, and grains, which means you can so easily, in 7 days, get over your sugar, starch, animal flesh, oil attachments, addictions, and regain that power. Again, resetting your palate, resetting your digestive system. And it's not hard. It's just that we need to do it correctly. And my role has been to design this so that anyone and everyone can do it. Of course, you must check with your healthcare provider and all of that. But it's been created so that anyone at any age can do this, any life stage. If you're pregnant or nursing, I'll make accommodation for you. I'll work with you personally to make those accommodations. But it is for everyone. And the beauty of it is, it's only 7 days. You can do anything for 7 days. This is not going to hurt you. It's not dangerous. It's safe. It's effective. And it's only 7 days. And the beauty of it, the reason I was so inspired to put this together was I wanted people to see what would happen if they did everything right for 7 days, so that they then could choose. And they could say, you know what? I see how powerful this is. I see how my body's changing. I see how everything is shifting. I see how I'm expunging copious quantities of waste matter that I no longer need or want, in my pores and cells and tissues. Why would I want that? If it's pouring out of me, why would I in any way want that to be put back into me? And look what happens to my life and my body and my mind and my heart and my spirit when it's gone. So we expunge this waste over 7 days. We create the conditions for the expunging of this waste, and we expunge. Basically, it's like taking a landfill and cleaning it up. And in 7 days, you can see just how effective the strategy that I've designed for you can be for you to clear that landfill and get the garden coming back. So it's powerful, it's beautiful. There's so many reasons I call it the greatest cleanse. At first I thought, because I was thinking that, it is the greatest because it encompasses all of these things, and I want everyone to know exactly what those things are, and we can get into that in a moment. But it's also making me think of Muhammad Ali, the greatest, and this is the greatest. It's that kind of energy, like this is it. And whether you're a veteran cleanser, you've been doing this for a long time, or you've been dabbling in cleansing, or you've been dabbling in lifestyles that are tangentially connected to cleansing, or you have always wanted to, but have been nervous and maybe been concerned about not having the right guidance, the right information, or whatever it may be. Or you've been staying away from cleansing because it's made you nervous, been intimidating, had not been accessible or approachable. This will change all of that. This is designed to make it easy, effective. In 7 days, you will see what will happen to your body. And the proof will be in the pudding, quite literally. You won't have to have a blind faith. I always say, don't listen to me, don't listen to anybody. Listen, if something appeals to you, if something calls to you, if it resonates with you, do it, experience it. You decide if it works. You decide if there's truth to it. I will put all the information and the knowledge and the guidance and the support into your hands so that you can do this. You can execute on this for 7 days, and you become a human laboratory. You become your own living experiment. It will pan out. I know that because I've done this for 20 years, and I've, personally and professionally, so I know it's going to work. I want you to see it work. I want you to see what happens to your body, your mind, your spirit, your emotions when you undertake all the right components of the cleansing work. You'll be blown away. You'll be amazed. You will never want to go back to anything remotely like what your life used to be. But also remember this, the world is changing. Yes, the world is seeming a bit madcapped at the moment, but what's happening is people are waking up. The whole dynamic of planet Earth is shifting. It's shifting to a higher consciousness, a higher vibration. No one is going to do things the way they used to do them. It's over. That's done. So what I want to help do is bridge that change for you so that you can seamlessly and easily step into this new earth, this higher vibration, this elevated consciousness. And it won't be a shock to your system. You won't feel alone in it. You won't feel like you need to figure it out somehow and you don't have the tools. I'm going to give you the tools so that it's an easy transition, so that we bridge this and you find yourself in this new space, in this higher consciousness, this higher vibration, and this cleansed body, and it doesn't feel unsettling. It feels beautiful. It feels like a happy place. It feels like where you should be. It feels like home. So why 7? First of all, life runs on cycles and rhythms. And so, we have these 52 weeks, and they, break down to 7 days, and we have 4 weeks in the month, so it's like a quarter of the month. We work in cycles of 7, 14, 21, 28. A woman has her 28-day cycle. And so that was one reason. The other reason is that we need enough time to see a change, not too little. I find that day 4 and 5 of cleansing can often be a time, usually is a time of where you have a lot of awakening experiences, but you haven't had enough releases to see what's on the other side. But you don't need as many as 10 days to get there. So it really is a sweet number. And it's kind of like getting your head around, grappling with the idea of 10 is a lot. 7, you can get your head around. The reason I chose December the 14th is because it's a new moon, it's a Monday, and it winds us up, it lands us, the whole group, it lands us on concluding and wrapping up on December 21st, which is the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere and the southern solstice in the southern hemisphere. So yes, this very powerful moment of the year, which is December 21st, 2020. Some people are talking about it as a bit of a gateway day to a higher vibration, a higher consciousness. But the point is, we are moving into something very different. And all of this, whenever there's a transition to something better, there has to be a release of the old that is not going to serve or be in sync with that higher better. So it's kind of like, I always love to use the organizing analogies, especially a closet organizing analogy. When you have to clean out your closet, it looks so much worse before it ever starts to look better. So we're in that so much worse looking stage right now, but it's so necessary and it's going to look so much better. The people who are fixated on the mess and they don't have the vision to see what's actually coming because of the mess are going to stress. And that stress is going to cause them to contract, which is calcification, which is the harbinger of the death cycle. So we don't want to be that. Don't get caught up in the mess. Look beyond it. Look at what's happening. Why is there a mess? Why is there a shaking up of the old? Why is it no longer going to apply in the future? Why are we going to look back on the things that we were doing for the last, several millennia and think, how did we think that was a good idea? How could we have slaughtered animals like that for food? How could we have consumed so much in terms of textiles? How did we, just go through the Earth's resources without any kind of heart, care, of a sense of connection to it? How are we so separated? How do we conceive that was right, that the education system was normal, that putting kids behind desks for 8 hours a day for 12 years of their life was a good idea? Why did we believe that? We're going to look back on this thing and think that was so ludicrous. But in order to leave that behind, we need to see what that's done to us. It's made us physically weak. It's made us emotionally sad, depressed, suicidal. It's made us mentally foggy and made our minds this kind of convoluted hodgepodge of lack. We have a lack of clarity. But that changes when we're able to reorder ourselves. We can't necessarily reorder the world. We can be part of that by reordering ourselves. We have the ability to take our own reordering in our hands, our own resetting, our own cleansing, our own raising of consciousness, raising of vibration. And of course, as we do that, it has a magnificent effect, a ripple effect throughout the world. Also, one of the things that occurred to me that's so important, A, because of the time of year, and B, because of the kind of support people need right now, we need our families around us. And family can mean so many things. It's defined, as your close friends. It can be blood relatives. Family is what family means to you. So what I've created with this course is a family platform, a family concept. So when, for example, the fee for the course is per household. It's not per person, it's per household. So I want as many people in your household or your proverbial family, whatever that looks like, to be part of this group. My interest is in you supporting each other and doing this together and seeing how universal it is that, the 65-year-old grandpa and the 12-year-old daughter struggling with her weight and skin issues or menstruation issues, or across the board, whether it's the mom, the dad, the grandma, the grandpa, the aunt, the uncle, the tween. It works for everybody, and the beauty of it is if everyone in the household is doing it together, you have a very simple sort of rigmarole for getting your food sorted out for the week. Shopping becomes super streamlined, super easy, and then you're encouraging each other, and you're thinking, when one person gets a little bit down or a little bit maybe lacking confidence, the other one is right there to say, no, you've got this. Look how I put this together. Look how delicious it was. I'm feeling great. You're going to feel great too tomorrow. Wait till you have your cleansing, and you're going to feel so good. So it's a way of bringing families together at a time when the world, sadly, is seeing families coming apart, being torn apart. We bring it together around cleansing. There's that great saying, the family that prays together stays together. I don't have a rhyme for it, but the family that cleanses together, something's together, stays together. It's like it strengthens together. The family that cleanses together, immenses together. It becomes an exalted experience for the whole family, and it's safe, it's effective, it's the proof is so clear in such a short amount of time. There is no risk to doing this. It's incredibly affordable. Aside from a juicer, which everybody needs, every household should have anyway, we need an extracting juicer, but they're very reasonable. The one that I recommend, the Breville Fountain Juice Plus, the cold pressed Breville, it's under $200. It's so easy to use. It's so easy to clean. All these things, it becomes completely effortless. So, and it's a vegetable-based diet for the week. So there's no expensive things to be bought and purchased. It's none of this ornate, raw, vegan, complicated food. It's such straightforward. It's affordable, super affordable. It's extremely simple. One of the problems is we become way too complicated with the way we're putting our food together. All these different ingredients, all these complicated preparations. For what? For it just to break down the body? For there to be too many salts and oils and preservatives, and that it may be gourmet by the sort of the standard definition of gourmet, but it's not healthy. It's not serving anyone's higher expression, their health. So, and if it's not serving the health of your body, it's not serving the health of your mind. It's not serving your emotional health. If it's, health is on all levels. You don't have something that's great for your mind, horrible for your body, or great for your body and horrible for your heart, or something. Or your emotions. It's all interconnected. It's a one system that you have. And the beauty of this is when we cleanse from the physical perspective, we wind up cleansing everything. So you will release so much emotional residue. Your mind will clear. The brain fog will clear. Your energetic, that which you carry, the burden that you carry in your energetic field, which you may not even be conscious of, will shed, and your load that you're walking through life will lighten significantly. So when we can just focus on the body's cleansing, knowing that in so doing, everything becomes elevated. When you expunge the quantities of waste they're going to leave your body in 7 days, everything transforms. Everything is elevated. There's no way to stop that. You can't. You could, not that you would want to stop your mind from clearing and your heart from opening, but you couldn't stop it if you wanted to, because that's just the way it works. Everything, you're a living system. It's all interconnected. So when we cleanse the body, we cleanse everything. And we are going to be releasing copious quantities of waste that you don't want in your body, waste that's old and stuck and causing your calcification, causing your degeneration. Life is flow, but what we put into the body stops the flow. It prevents the fluidity from conducting, from you being a central pulsating, conducting force in the greater network of life. It stops that from happening. When that stops happening, you're no longer going to receive or be able to give that life force essence. We're going to remove the blockages that prevent. We're going to remove the blockages that prevent your ability to conduct the life force energy. And in huge quantities. I don't mean a little bit. 7 days of cleansing. And now not only are you going to have a juicer, but you're going to have a colon hydrotherapy device. And that can be as simple and inexpensive as a $10 enema kit. You can get it at your local drugstore, your local pharmacy, I should say, pharmacy, drugstore, apothecary, whatever you have, your CVS or Duane Reade if you're in America. It's so easy. It's inexpensive, but we have to wash. We have to wash internally. And I think that's one of the things that people have really come to become more embracive of in recent years, because historically there was sort of this. Well, historically meaning like 30 years ago, people used to be a little bit put off, 20 years ago, put off by the idea of colon cleansing. But our grandparents, our great-grandparents, and going all the way back to the Egyptians, they were using colon irrigation all the time. So it wasn't unusual for them. It was only sort of after the Second World War, between then and maybe now-ish, that it became something that was sort of taboo. And people say, "Wait, you're going to put that where?" No, I'm not going to put water up. First thing that usually would happen when you walked into a hospital before World War II was they would give you an enema. Like, what's wrong with you? Okay, let's give you an enema. I mean, that's and most grandmothers would do that as their home remedy. The first that'd be the first, because constipation is the root cause of so many ailments: headaches, fevers, sore throats, joint pain, you name it. So you release the bowel, and suddenly you're cured. But this is not something that modern medicine likes to shout around about. So it definitely was suppressed, and it's becoming it's having a revival wonderfully. So there is the juicing component, there is the colon cleansing component, but this is the thing. In order for us to, this is the greatest cleanse. Okay? This is why I get excited about the greatest cleanse, because the greatest cleanse incorporates everything that you need to do in order to have results. So we're not just going to do one or two of the right things. We're going to do everything right for 7 days. And when you do everything right for 7 days, you're going to see what happens to you. It is nothing short of miraculous. Anyone who is suffering from chronic or acute illness or excess weight or feeling lethargic or whatever is going on in your life. I can't list the laundry list of symptoms that the modern world contends with on a daily basis right now, but you know what it is. You can open any medical dictionary. All those things come from an impacted, calcifying body, and we will turn that around in 7 days. And in 7 days' time, you will know that you're on the road. And even though the 7 days is we're going to set a high bar for the standard of what we're looking for in terms of intake and release, in terms of what you're going to be consuming and how much you're going to be releasing, we can make adjustments after the 7 days based on your lifestyle. So just that 7-day commitment, know what's possible, and then it can be tapered down slightly, it can be ramped up, depending on what you want to do after that point, but at least you will know, without a shadow of a doubt, what your body's capable of. Tell your family it's 7 days. I need your support. It's free to everyone else in the family. I'm going to get this for the family, and I need you also to support me and each other, and all these ailments that everyone talks about, all the complainers in your life, okay, reel them in. They can be part of your family, okay? And obviously everyone needs to check with their doctor, et cetera. I've always have to say that, but this is so safe. I mean, it's so safe. It's so easy. It's so effective, and it blows anything else out of the water because, like I said, no oils, no animal fleshes, no grains, extremely low sugar. We can't take sugar out completely because we need, it becomes an impossibility. But it's to the point where we can sustain something for 7 days that is enjoyable, that will reset us and do. This is the beauty of it too. This is again why I call it the greatest cleanse. We don't have to fast. Some people say, well, I want to undertake a juice fast, or I want to water fast, or whatever. Don't bother. Do this. If after this, then you want to juice fast, great. But juice fasting is not necessary at this stage. The removal of the waste is what constitutes a cleanse. That is the touchstone, the whole point of a cleanse. It's the elimination. The degree to which you eliminate waste is the degree to which you've cleansed, successfully cleansed. So you can juice fast, you can water fast till the cows come home. But if you're not releasing copious quantities of waste, you're not cleansing. You think you're cleansing. You are optimistic that you might cleanse. But unless you have released all this dense, impacted waste, not just from the center of your intestine, but deep in the tissues, you're not cleansing. So we can cleanse so efficaciously without even fasting, which is so amazing. And here's what's also amazing about it. The greatest cleanse. When we have our releases, when you use your enema, when you go see your colon hydrotherapist, if you have someone locally that you know and trust, it's great. If you have an enlightener, many of you have your enlighteners, and we'll be doing this with an enlightener. When you have those big releases and you've emptied the center of the intestine, what have you done? You created a vacuum. What does a vacuum do? A vacuum sucks up the dirt. So the second you've cleansed, released, remember cleanse is release, you now have created conditions for an even greater pulling of waste to the center of the intestine for your next release. You're basically creating the mechanism to cleanse more and more deeply every time you use your enema, see your colon hydrotherapist, use your enlightener. So 7 days of repeating the alkaline intake to awaken the waste, the colon irrigation to release the waste, which creates the vacuum, which pulls more waste in, and this cycle repeats itself over 7 days, you are going to feel like $1 million. You're not going to believe it. You're going to feel like a kid, and your ailments are going to go away, and all this is going to happen, and you won't believe it could have been so simple all this time. Why couldn't someone have just told you that your problem was waste impaction and copious quantities of this matter that went in but never left? Why couldn't have someone said that to us decades ago? Why do we have to go through all this time dragging our feet through life, feeling miserable, not sleeping well, feeling depressed, low energy, loathing our body, not feeling like our body is a boon but a burden? Why have we been put in that position when it was so easy all along? Give me 7 days. Let me show you how easy it is. Let me show you what you're capable of. Let me show you how that energy will come back. Let me show you how those symptoms will go away. Let me show you how that weight will go away. Let me show you how that cellulite will leave. Let me show you how your face will cleanse and your joints will become more lubricated, how your head clears, your brain fog, your headaches go away. All of this, let me show you. Give me 7 days. Do the greatest cleanse and see what happens.